What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I know I'm a couple of days late on this governance proposal for Splinter Royale. This is still in pre-proposal stage, and I will tell you right now that my opinions that I'll give towards the end of the video are already somewhat informed by the town hall that happened earlier today, in which Matt did give his kind of blessing or support for this proposal. But let's go ahead and jump into the details first, and then I'll share my thoughts at the end. Now, Splinter Royale is another game that's going to be set in the world of Pretoria. Development started, it looks like, just this quarter in 2023, and it's all been self-funded. There is an alpha version that's currently available. I have not tried it yet, but the proposal is for essentially the DAO to support the beta development of Splinter Royale as seen on the roadmap here, and it looks like this will be coming out sometime in Q2 of next year. Sorry, did I say Q? We're already in Q4, so it started last quarter in Q3. The payments can be split. They're asking for $50,000 in stable coins or HBD and Hive, and the payments can be split into $25,000 upfront and then $25,000 in January of 2024. The receiver of the payments is this account. The funds will be used for development and release of a polished beta, which we're estimating will take about 5 to 8 months. Funds will also be used for ongoing costs such as server costs and possibly help from contractors. So what is Splinter Royale? It is an auto battler similar to Hearthstone Battlegrounds, which I'll say I don't have any experience with right now, but for people who do know what that is the similar game type. Matches are fun and action-packed. The game is built in Unity and can be played on the web and later on as a standalone game on desktop and mobile for all you mobile folks out there. Now, there is a white paper and there's some gameplay footage here, which we can just go ahead and play on in the background if you guys want to take a quick look at this. So very similar styles to a lot of the card battle games, or I should say card games in general, TCGs. But you can see here that there's a lot of usage from currently existing Splinterlands cards. So we'll go ahead and save that for later. One of the goals for having Splinter Royale is to onboard many players into Splinterlands, SPS, and Web3 by providing entertaining and fun gameplay. We're also planning to utilize Splinterlands assets such as cards, tokens, and possibly land within the game, giving those assets even more use cases. So the team, there's a saying in Germany called Klein aber Oho. I hope I'm saying that right, but that means small but mighty. It currently consists of the Real Wolf, a developer and Splinter enthusiast, and his wife Art Bunny, who is a talented artist. So while we're aiming to stay lean, the funding would allow them to get limited help from contractors. So what were to happen if the proposal doesn't pass? Here's where it gets interesting. Our passion for the world of Splinterlands drove us to create Splinter Royale, and we truly believe that the game will benefit the whole ecosystem. And while we didn't come up with $50,000 lightly, we're quite confident that this kind of money is a good price for a working version of the game, especially due to the 15% revenue split, which could make this an even bigger success. With this said, if the proposal fails, they will still develop the game, but would have to shift priorities like emphasizing product sales to build a runway over refining the gameplay experience. If the proposal does pass, well, then they will immediately start working on that roadmap. And in Q4 of this year, new abilities and cards. The game currently lacks economy cards, so gaining gold versus doing damage. Again, I don't understand what any of this stuff is, but next up, we'll continue to squash bugs, improve performances, and push and polish the game. We'd also start providing standalone clients and spend time working on mobile integration. So in Q1 of next year, more game client works for desktop and mobile, as well as implementation of factions, heroes, and hero powers. We'll also prepare the initial sale and start working on improved rewards. In Q2, more game client work, and finally, advanced gameplay and sounds. And then it looks like they'll be ready for release probably around that time or towards the end. They're also doing some kind of giveaway here, regardless of what happens. They want to celebrate this, and there's some certain things that they're giving away. If you're interested, you can go to the post itself. Now, I do want to say first and foremost, this is a really cool idea, and that's not just me saying it. That's also Matt, right? Matt is putting his support behind this because. I'll say it this way. With the layoffs that happened, right? The scope of what I thought the game and kind of like the game ecosystem could be for Splinterlands, it got shrunk down dramatically, right? Aggie was a really big thinker, and he was trying to add all these different things in, tower defense being the first part, and then obviously the GLS side. And you can, I'm sure there are a lot of Aggie critics out there who'll say maybe he was biting off more than he could chew. But one thing that I was excited about was more games in specifically the Splinterlands ecosystem. So now what we've shifted from, and this is kind of what Matt was alluding to on the town hall, is the fact that instead of the team doing this, the DAO can be responsible for it. The DAO can go towards helping fund other games and projects. And I think that I actually think that it's a fantastic idea. Now, that being said, are the details of the proposal in line with what everybody thinks? Like, is 50,000 too much, too little? Basically, like, how are people feeling about this? What are the different kinds of, expectations we have? How do we kind of enforce this? And again, there's a lot of very good questions here, which may get people to vote for or against it. But I like the idea. I like the energy behind it. And I will say this, whether this passes or not, what I don't want is for people who are innovative and who love the Splinterlands ecosystem, I don't want them to get discouraged from trying to create stuff that adds value. If you've been attending the live streams, you've seen a lot of my videos, you know that I want people to create mini games. I want them to do a lot of things because you can build on top of an ecosystem already that has predefined tokens and assets that have predefined use cases already. You don't have to be the only one that's propping them up. You can come in, take advantage of a system that is already there, build on top of it, and not have to shoulder all that weight, but add value to the ecosystem at the same time. And this is exactly what Matt is thinking as well. So he's in support of this. Whether or not, maybe he agrees with all the details or not, I don't know, but he is in support of this and ideas like this. So even though I don't think it's passing at the moment in terms of like the pre-proposal, it's still gonna go from pre-proposal to proposal stage. This is something that I do want to see in the proposal stage. And, if Matt can talk to it more, maybe we can even have Splinter Royale or Real Wolf, I think it was, come on and talk to it, talk about it a little bit more. Again, it's stuff like this that gets me excited for the future of Web3 gaming, specifically within the Splinterlands ecosystem. So even if you're against it, my thought process is don't hate it and don't downvote it simply because it's somebody asking for money, right? Like, I know it's weird because we just got into this whole thing where the DAO started earning revenue through Rebellion, and people are asking, like, you had the Clayboy proposal as well. So we're getting into a new territory for the DAO here, which I personally find very exciting because, as Matt said on the town hall, the DAO funds that are just sitting there shouldn't be sitting there. We should be finding ways in which the DAO can spend that money to add value to the ecosystem. And whether or not you think that Splinter Royale specifically is a good buy, I like the energy behind it, and I want to make sure that we encourage this type of thing. So for people who are against it, and I know there's been a lot of conversation already in Mav Chat and Discord, but for people who are against it, my question to you is this: what would it take for you to be for it? And think critically, be constructive in your criticism in terms of how you approach it, right? If somebody's trying to build something in the ecosystem and they want to add value, then find a way in which you will be okay with clicking on the upvote button to have your SPS support this, because I want to make sure that we're encouraging this type of behavior. Again, not everything's going to be a hit, and hopefully we can fish out the scams and the scammers ahead of time. But Matt vouches for this person who was a contractor for the team as well. So you can go back and listen to the town hall for that. Based on this, and maybe I'm falling now into the camp of just blindly following Matt, but I do like the direction that he's taken things. I was a little skeptical at first. I don't even want to say skeptical of Matt. I was just, we were in a rough place 6 weeks ago, right, after the layoffs. But I'm trying to trust Matt more and more because I think that he has a very unique vision for this. And the way that he's handled himself since that time frame, I've been very impressed with. So if he's going to put his weight behind this because he thinks that it's good and he trusts the developer, right? He wants in the same way to encourage people like the Real Wolf, like Splinter Royale, to come up with these games and add value to the ecosystem. I can get behind that. $50,000, it's not a small amount of money, but at the same time, the DAO did just pull in $400,000 worth of value from the Rebellion packs. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth considering. And the fact that Matt is behind this is actually giving me a lot of confidence to say, well, let's see what they can build. It's not the end of the world if we, put $50,000, of which we just got 400K, right? So if we put a little bit of that to work and add value to the ecosystem in this way, again, people might disagree, but when you disagree, my only ask is that you try to come up with a way that you look at this and say, here is how I would say yes. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. I will catch you in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.